Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back with another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Wednesday, April 4th. A unfortunate incident, shooting happened, and I talked about it in the previous episode if you're watching these videos pre-recorded, so I'm not going to cover it every single day. If you're watching this live, you can rewind back to the beginning and I speak on it for about 30 minutes. If you don't want to hear about any of that, then I can't blame you. We're here to talk about video game news and play games. So I need to get at least one of these done. So I'm going to probably try Druid or Hunter. Let's see. And since the new month has gone over, we are at the lowest rank possible. So hopefully this custom Hunter or the Secret Beast will be the good one to play. And ranked play to try to get up in the ranked. Now they've changed how ranked works, so theoretically and maybe factually I should just be at rank 24 at the lowest rank every month and not even try to get up to rank 20. You don't seem like you get a bigger treasure chest anymore for being at a higher rank. It's or do you? I've forgotten how this system works. Actually, I think you still get a treasure chest for the rank you're in. But if you just happen to get 5 wins in rank play at all, which is a pretty low amount, you will be rewarded with the card back. So if you don't want to really play ranked at all, play 5 ranked games throughout the month, and then you'll get the card back, and that's all you have to do. But if you do want to play ranked, it's gotten harder to play ranked and stay at ranked, because although you do fall down a little bit lower when you hit certain metrics. So if I was at rank 18, maybe I would have started at rank 21 this month. It now takes 5 stars every rank to go up, where it only took like 3 stars or 4 stars before. Secret. Play this. In the turn. T-Rez says, I love how you speak and play. And then Lemon Lover says, okay, but for real, what's this? What is this? Welcome to Iowa. Please, Rydo, please explain. Lemon Lover is trolling. He's a Lemon Lover is a new addition to the chat as the wholesome trolling. So he trolls and is funny, and I keep him around because of that. Now he's saying he's not a troll. He's not a wholesome troll. Sure, okay, you aren't. I'm wrong. T-Riz asks, what region are you? Question mark. Right now I'm playing on the Asian region, so that gets really, really hard to have any of my fans friend me on the Asian account. And it gets really, really hard to get random people to friend you on the Asian accounts too. They all value their privacy so much, it seems, that they won't accept friend requests unless they know who you are. Or maybe it's because my name's in English and they want to only friend people that are in either Chinese or Japanese or whatever countries. Welcome to Iowa is the trending video, one of the most trending videos right now. I will not talk about this subject in the title of these live streams is literally just clickbait. It's what YouTube has told us we have to do to succeed, and it has worked. That's the ridiculousness. I would not have done it. I didn't do it for 4 years. I think it's stupid and immature and ridiculous, but it's the thing that works to get your videos views. My live streams were struggling at about 20 views before. Now they very consistently get 50 views. So over doubled the amount of views by just copying the name of some video in YouTube trending and putting it in the title. And it's also getting me subscribers, so people take it. People like it. I don't know why. It seems crazy, but that's really what's going on, is clickbait works to get people to subscribe. Let's see. And Lemon Lover says, really, I'm serious, I have no idea what it means. Well, I didn't even look at the video, but I believe the description says that somebody made a video of the highest point in Iowa, and Iowa in the United States is a flat, like Iowa potatoes. No, that's Idaho potatoes. Iowa, I believe, is a flat plains portion of the United States, so the highest point is like only maybe a few kilometers taller than the lowest point of the state. I imagine it's a parody video of somebody like taking a video on Mount Everest and showing how high up there and how beautiful it is. Instead, he's just showing on the thumbnail dead grass. I don't know why these things get popular. I imagine a lot of it has to do with Reddit and whatever people are looking at. Lemon Lover says, I like your style. We have somebody in a Russian name saying hello in English. So he's following the rules at least and keeping all the conversation in English. Thank you for that. Hello back. Keep on playing. Now, I don't know if Trez was saying he liked the way I talk and play seriously or not, but I'll just take it as a serious compliment. Personally, I guess I have a little bit of a hang up there, and I feel like I don't talk that great. Sometimes I don't enunciate well, sometimes I don't speak well with good words. And as far as playing on Hearthstone, like, I barely pay any attention to Hearthstone at all, so like I don't play well at all. 43% win ratio on this deck, for example. Let's see, we've got another game that came out on Steam called Kovacs, Kovaaks, first person aim trainer. Let's see, it has 6 reviews. It's selling for $9.99. It kind of looked like it might be a VR game, but I'm not seeing anything so far that says it is actually a VR game. It mostly looks like an asset flip, though. Yeah, this is just an asset flip. You can really tell with some games where things are not blended or textured or anything. So yeah, it's not a VR game. It's just a asset flip first person shooter game. Let's see what the one negative review of 28, which is fishy, is. Not a very good negative review either. Just a bug report in the form of a negative review. I have to remember that I'm trying to win here, but I've failed. Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna save me. So we'll just end the turn. So is aim trainer like some kind of cheat engine? Are they putting a cheat engine in Steam? Is that what this is? No, this ugly game I think isn't that. I think Like, I think it actually is training you to have better first-person aiming, and that might explain why it has such a high rating. And it might sort of explain the ugly graphics. No, but this is a scam. You wouldn't want to play some other game to improve your aiming. You wouldn't want to play some other game to improve your aiming. You just play that game because the input lag and the sensitivity for, say, Overwatch is going to be different than Fortnite, and you've got to learn to play within those constraints. So yeah, I can't see anybody legitimately buying this game. It does have an all-time peak of 34 players, so 34 people did it, but I think you're misguided. You've got to improve your aiming in the game you want to get better at. Let's see. Lemon Lover came on the channel and said, "Me gusta el limons," which he's violating the rule about you have to write in English. Every time I have to mention that rule that's over here, I'm like, I wish it wasn't a rule. I wish YouTube could just translate the chat. I would be perfectly happy with people writing in any language they're comfortable with, and then it just auto translates it to English for me because that's the default language that I can read, and then it just auto translates things back. Like, sure, it might open the door for a little bit of misunderstanding or miscommunication, but I'm willing to take that risk. And you could certainly put a warning that maybe it was slightly mistranslated, so don't ban this person. But right now they've got nothing, and nothing doesn't work, and it requires me to just say you have to write in chat, therefore, because I need to know what you're saying, because I need to know if you're a spammer or not, so I can ban spammers. Gamasutra has a sponsored ad. I didn't know that Gamasutra did sponsored articles on top of letting anybody else do articles. That seems a little crazy. Let's play this and this. Oh, I did not know this guy did damage to the people on the side of him. I could have played differently there. Well, they have a sponsored article, How ARM is Solving Mobile Games Development's Big 3 Challenges. And according to, and this is presented by ARM, the 3 big challenges are Vulkan as the future for the open standards APIs, advanced programmable interface, Vulkan over like OpenGL, which is a little bit older of a standard. Now, let's see. Play this and do this, I guess. And this, and then this, and then that. The second one is the benefits of optimization to reach the mass market. And the third one is how to achieve console quality graphics on mobile. ARM is a licensing company. They don't make really any of the chips, I don't believe. They just own the rights to a patent on the ARM technology, particularly backwards compatibility things. This is in part why you see things like the iPhone getting rid of support of the what was it, 32-bit applications. ARM works, sadly. Like, It works a lot better than trying to do an Intel mobile processor, which is really its only competition, is to try and throw a laptop type CPU into cell phones and have them uh, last as long. They came from it from a very different angle in which they were trying to optimize for battery life over the normal instance of Intel was optimizing for performance for decades before. And I don't think we'll probably ever see any major non-ARM CPUs on mobile phones, although the iPhone does seem like it. I think I heard Apple was going to try and make its own chips, so maybe they will eventually get away from the ARM standard. It would be really starting over from scratch. And in comparison to PCs, like there was the 8088 processors and the 8086 processors. And then there was the 186, 286, and then a very popular 386 processors, and that's where the beginning of personal computers being like really big and popular. So with the 386, there were several versions of the 386. There was the 386, 386 DX, and then there was a DX2 and a DX3, and then the DX4. And that worked really good. And then there was the 486, which became the Intel Pentium. So Pentium 1 was 486, or maybe it was 486 then the Pentium. And then the 586 is the Pentium 2. And then we got to 686 as Pentium 3. And now we are at, I believe, right now, 886 chipset standards, which is a lot of numbers, certainly. But what it tells you, and what is cool about this, is if you were to buy the newest Intel i7 processors, it has the coding and structure to run an 8086 processing application. It would probably run that application at a incredibly high speed, and it would probably be better if you're going to run an old application like that to run it in a virtual machine that was emulating and slowing things down anyways. But the instruction sets have been built off of that and improved and improved. And it wasn't all Intel. Right now, a lot of the additions that have been added in the past couple decades were actually AMD Athlons additions to the code set. So there was some competition there between two big companies. It might have been better if there was a little bit more competition, but there was a lot of standardization because there was only two companies. Where I would argue it doesn't seem like too much of the ATI video card instructions, it doesn't seem like any of that API stuff really gets integrated into NVIDIA. So there's not been any real collaboration between those two companies. So we have at least 3 or 4 decades of the same types of processors. We wouldn't really ever have a new type of processor, like a server processor, like the Intel Xenon processors. Quantum computing is coming, certainly, but it won't be for the home until we get it down to a level where it can actually run the programs that already exist and play games. And so when there is a personal computer, quantum computer processor, it will certainly end in the instruction set 86. It will be an 86 something, whether it's a 1086 or an 1186 or 1586 or 2086. It'll still be backwards compatible, or people won't buy it. Which, that's kind of the problem with the Steam machines issue in moving over to Linux, is that there's just not a backwards compatibility there. So we'll be on ARM processors, some kind of ARM processor, for a long time. That was a bit of a nerd rant, wasn't it? And I'm not sure how many people are interested in that, other than people who build PCs. And that's kind of a shame with the PC building simulator game that just came out. The creator had already said he wasn't really going to do what I wanted him to do anyways, and they don't integrate it with any kind of sponsored products. They don't have a way where you could virtually build a PC and then go over to Amazon or Newegg and buy those parts and actually have a PC. Some of the assembly of the PC doesn't run into all the issues you might run into. I haven't heard any of instances of the just basic issue of, oh, you accidentally slid against a carpeted floor and shocked your PC while you're putting it together, so you just fried your motherboard, or you fried your RAM. Or, oh, you accidentally didn't seat the RAM all the way in, therefore you've short-circuited your RAM. There's a lot of really new but basic things that you can do. Oh, you hot swapped an old-fashioned hard drive, so the hard drive is now completely fried. Oh, you hot swapped a new hard drive that should be hot swappable. You still fried something. Don't hot swap anything ever, is my suggestion, by the way. Like, theoretically, a SATA, and particularly like eSATA connector, totally designed to be hot swappable, and hot swapping means you can plug a hard drive out and plug it in while the PC's on. Just don't do it. Turn off your PC before you take off the case, before you do anything to it, before you even plug in a hard drive. If you're plugging in through a Thunderbolt or a USB connector, you can do that, certainly. That's fine, but anything else, it's not worth risking your expensive hardware. And instead, the PC simulator game, from what I hear, is more around being a person who just gets jobs, follows the instructions of the job. So maybe you replace a video card with a newer video card. When you finish that job, you then just put the PC out in the hallway and it ships to the customer that you never see. And that there's some room for playing the game ethically or unethically as you're trying to run a computer shop. As somebody who loves to build PCs, and that's the weird thing, is that you really, if you love to build PCs and you like computers, you don't get as many opportunities as you would like. It's also really, really hard to get a job in a PC shop and do the thing you love. Whether you're dealing with end users and just normal people, or whether you're working in a tech repair shop in a business, there's not that many jobs out there, and there's a lot of underqualified, unqualified people doing it. Most people tend to buy laptops and then come to shops, and they don't want to spend the money to fix the laptops. A lot of people go to computer shops and they're just trying to sell you things. Like, every day you're going to deal with people trying to sell you things that may or may not be stolen computers. Everybody's going to hate the prices for any kind of upgrade or any kind of fix. You're going to get a lot of grannies that they have viruses on them. And you could have had a bit of a career doing that before Best Buy came in and intentionally undersold everybody and has just college kids, like minimum wage college kids, high school kids running virus scanners on computers, doing nothing special. So building a PC, if you want to build one, becomes this art, and you have to find somebody who's willing to finance your $2,000 or $3,000 build if you want to build a computer that expensive. At the minimum, you're still, if you're going to build a decent PC, you're going to spend at least $500. There was a slickdeals.net, which is a shopping aggregator. It looks at other websites and sees the best deals, or actually users submit the best deals they can find. And day one launches of the NVIDIA 1080 are now down to their regular price. And so that, because of all the Bitcoin mining, that is now the best deal you can get, is for a 1080 spend $560 on it, like the same price it would have cost you when it came out day one. And now we've hit a point where it's really not a good idea to do that, because there's indications that the next generation, the 1100 series of video cards, are going to come out. Yeah, I would love to build computers and sell them if people would buy them. It's just people won't buy them, and I would have to up front spend thousands of dollars to build a computer, and then have a computer that was sitting on the shelf every second losing value as newer things come out. And if you want to work for like a corporation that has a tech repair shop, there's very little opportunity to do that, because so many corporations have contracts with other with Best Buy, with Dell a lot, and they just mail the broken computers to Dell, and Dell fixes them. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Dell takes your broken computer, ships it all the way to India, has it fixed for pennies on the dollar, and makes more money getting it repaired in India or China, and then ships it back. So yeah, the globalization certainly in the PC industry has not made it easier to make a reasonable wage in the United States. But I know I spent years trying to get in a job like that, and didn't even find stores, didn't even find people that were hiring. Of course, maybe I was just really bad at looking. I don't know. We got another game. Let's move on to video game names. Called Next 3. It is, I guess, the sequel to Next and Next 2, which are the 3 games that they've got. It's 15% off for 84 cents. You can buy the whole bundle for $2.39. What is this? This looks like it might be an asset flip, or this is just a really generic physics box game. Like I'm not immediately seeing what you're supposed to do. I'm just seeing crates, and there's an explosion in this one. It looks like it's a mobile game that's been ported. Let's see. It says it's a minimalistic game with 2D graphics, and that's the only explanation they're giving. You're on your 3rd game, and you don't have a better explanation than that. It has an all-time peak of 6 players playing at the same time. It has 500 Steam achievements, so now we know what it is. It's an achievement spammer. 100 levels, 500 achievements, trading cards coming soon. That is not true. Trading cards will not come to a game like this, because that is the one thing that Steam has stopped doing. It's claiming it has full audio for English, French, Italian, German, and Spanish, and Arabic, Bulgarian, Portuguese, Hungarian, Greek, Danish, traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, Korean, Dutch, Norwegian, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian, Thai, Turkish, Ukrainian, Finnish, Czech, Swedish, and Japanese. So they say they have full audio support for all of those, as well as full interface and subtitle support. That is ridiculous. It has 5 positive reviews, I don't believe, only one of which is labeled my language. Let's see. Yeah. This is an achievement scam fake game. I really wish Steam would let me flag fake games. I'd be doing their work for them. Let's see. Let's see. What is this? This is a newsletter. Apparently Gamma Sutra has a new newsletter they're going to do weekly called Video Game Deep Cuts that is just going to point back to their articles. Like PC Gamer, I think, does that too sometimes. It's kind of annoying. Next game we have is called Around the World in 80 Days. It is from the same person who's flooding the Steam market with other things, such as Alice in Wonderland, Hidden Objects, Blake and Mortimer, Aladdin and the Enchanted Lamp. So this is probably another hidden object game, although they're calling it adventure casual. Yeah, it's pretty much what a standard hidden object game is today, where it has some puzzles and some other things, but the main gameplay mechanic is hidden objects. So all-time peak of one person. This came out April 3rd, and they want $1.99. The thing here is, at less than 99 cents, I would play this game. Sure. But there is also this weird thing where you're eventually gonna just go in circles and have five different companies release the exact same game based on the exact same like public domain story. So let's see. If I search just around the world, there's one for $2.99. It's called Hidden Object Around the World in 80 Days. There's Around the World in 80 Days. And not too many, but there is at least a couple that come up immediately. And that was Around the World. If I search Around the World in 80 Days, I bet I can maybe narrow down the search even more. Let's see. What do we have? Freezing Trap? Yeah, there's 1, 2, a DLC. No, it really seems like there's only 2 people right now that have Around the World in 80 Days, but I feel like over the years this is going to just get higher and higher. Like the other game that's rated very positive is with 82% of 23 reviewers in the past 30 days. Came out November 24th, 2017. Let me look at these pictures and just make sure it's not the exact same game. It isn't. It doesn't seem like it is, at least. An all-time high of 18 people playing it at the same time. Hidden object games almost have real legitimacy. Like, almost. Just ever so close to feeling like they actually are video games, but they're low quality, certainly. This and then we'll do this. this, this, and this, and then end the turn. And I guess with hidden object games, you also have this issue where there's no like known quantity. So if THQ Nordic, for example, they'd be a great potential person who might actually do something like this. If THQ Nordic came out and said, we're going to make hidden object games and release those, it's sort of believable that then they would have the prestige and ability to do that. I think that was the right move. So the next game we have is the Three Musketeers de Artagnan and the 12 Jewels. And this is by a different developer. And it's $1.99. But it's by the exact same publisher. So they're flooding... The publisher is flooding the market, or trying to flood the market, with hidden object games. And I wouldn't be surprised if these games are actually had been on Steam before and they were taken off or kicked off for being maybe labeled fake games. Although I can't really call this a fake game. I can just call it an expensive game at $1.99 for a hidden object game. Particularly when you consider, if I was playing this on a... If I was playing a hidden object game on a cell phone, I pretty much want it to be free. Free with ads. That's what the level of quality that these type of games are competing with. So, Microoids Indie is the publisher, and they're trying to flood the market. Well, not actually flooding the market. We also have, from the exact same publisher, but just from the exact same publisher, we have Les Miserables Cosette's Fate for $2.99. They're starting expensive, certainly. Now, forgive my memory, but I believe they might have had to reanimate the memorable Cosette that is on the playbill of Les Miserables to avoid copyright infringement, because while Les Miserables, the novel and the story, and maybe even the play, are public domain, I believe the art for the playbill is still owned by somebody. Because I recall a few years ago somebody getting in trouble for doing that. I don't know who or where I heard that story, but I could just be making it all up in my head right now. I would really think it would be cool if there was a Les Miserables game that was not just a hidden object game. They also have, because they really want to stick you for as much money as possible, Les Miserables Jean Valjean at $2.99. So you're not even going to get the full story as they're telling it. You're only going to get half of it. See, Monster Hunter World version 2.01 update for the PlayStation and 2.0.0.1 update for the Xbox One are now available. Let's see, bug fixes basically is all the update is really doing. It doesn't seem like it made too much of a change. That really wasn't news I needed to talk about. There is a game on Steam, it's apparently free to play, called the Acute Art VR Museum. Has one review. The thing with the art museum in VR as an idea is it's cool for like one instance of that, but it's an idea that you know is going to be ripped off a lot. It seems like in this instance, it's by calling it acute art, it's actually visual art things that you wouldn't even be able to see in a museum. It's just effects, visual effects in VR that they needed to find a way to put a name on it. And it's a VR asset flip is what this is, with an all-time peak of 4 people playing it. It's free to play. Let's see. The premiere of our subscription-based gallery features original VR artwork by Olafur Ellison, who I don't know who that is, but he might be a famous thing, and is soon to be followed by Anish Kapoor, Jeff Koons, Mariana Abramovic, Nathaniel Djurgberg, and Hansberg, and many more. So this almost seems like it's a subscription-based. It's free to play to get you in, but it's actually a subscription-based service to trick you into paying a lot more money to see some, right now, what looks like pretty bad VR effects art. I would more prefer if they had just set up a camera on a hat and given it to the artist and watched the artist make their real world stuff. Even if they're sitting in front of a computer rendering things, I would have much preferred to do a Twitch live stream view of on their art feed than this. This is just random. And it's by a developer called Acute Art that has nothing else on Steam, so why would you specifically like trust them with your money for a subscription service? And this isn't the best of decks, is it? I think it's probably a loser of a deck, and I need to switch over to something different. There have been other art museum-esque VR experiences that are better. Let's see. If I just search VR museum, I'm sure I could probably find one on Steam that's better than Acute Art Museum. There's a VR museum of fine arts that's free to play. There's a life-like VR museum. There's a paleo museum VR. The Museum of Through View. The Museum of GIF Art, which is, maybe that's just a game. Let's see, Inception VR. Dreams of Dolly. Here's something. This is just a Salvador Dali thing that's free. I'm gonna wishlist this Dreams of Dolly since I like Salvador Dali and it's a free to play game. Check out Dreams of Dolly then, I guess. Dolly spelled D-A-L-I, in case you don't know. Yeah, so quite a few different things. I guess we're gonna play this. Quite a few different VR museums that you could do that were better than Acute Art and a subscription service. Maybe they're all gonna try and play for a subscription service. Let's play this next turn. PC Gamer has an article. Totem Teller is like an interactive storybook with intentional glitches. I like intentional glitches sometimes, but I don't know how much of this is really a game. Like, it seems like it's almost just blurring the main character, and then he'll walk into certain areas and other things will be blurred. Like, I'm looking at these videos and doesn't seem like anything else is, doesn't seem like there's a gameplay with this, and you can learn more on their official site, which it's due out later this year. So once again, PC Gamer has talked about a game with no announced date and thus nothing nothing really to learn or gain from that. So yeah, I can't wishlist Totem Teller. I can't do anything with it. I have to just wait nearly a year to say, oh, I've heard about that game. Guess I need to speed up. There's a PC Gamer article: infiltrate cities and spray graffiti in turn-based stealth game Vandals. I need to just scroll down to the bottom right now. Vandals will be on Steam Thursday, April 12th. Thank goodness. Talk about a game with something you can do. Something you can learn from it, react, or in any other way do anything. This looks like a lot like Hitman Go, and I didn't like Hitman Go. It's kind of the opposite of the skating game that there was. What am I? Jet Set Radio. Yeah. Well, Jet Set Radio, you're on skating and skates and moving fast and tagging graffiti. Vandals looks like you're gonna slowly, step by step, try to avoid the police seeing you and just play Hitman Go. And it's not from the creators of the Go series, because that would be Ubisoft. It's from the publishers of the game Californium, which was another kind of weird game that I did want to play that eventually. They are saying it's like Ticket to Ride. I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't think I'm interested in playing. I already have Tomb Raider Go to cover. I'm not interested in playing something that apes that. Wind Fury and attack, and then the turn. Next game we have is a game called Night of the Shrub Part 1. Never a great thing to make your first game Part 1 of anything. You should have a finished game. Came out April 3rd. It's at $1.99, no discount. Has no reviews. And let's look at it. The thing I would say about this animation is it is a purposeful bad artistic style, but the skill sort of is here. Like, this isn't a completely unskilled animator that just happens to be drawing badly. It's somebody who has a little bit of skill and is intentionally drawing worse than they could. But the gameplay menu looks like a huge mess. It looks like it's some kind of one screen combination game where the top of the screen changes and you get into conversations with people. It doesn't seem like the characters walk around. It doesn't seem like there's a map. It seems like maybe you just click on the boxes in the lower left hand corner and it moves you to that area. They're saying it's a casual game as its only tag. It has a one-time peak of one person playing it. And it's the publisher is also the developer, and they've only got one game on Steam, which is this game, and they're saying this is part 1, so that it's an unfinished game. Like, everything that could be wrong with a game is in this game. It looks ugly. It looks like it plays ugly. It's unfinished. It's expensive for an unfinished game. It's got no discount. It's from an unknown person. Nobody should be playing that. Oh no, King of the Fighters 1997 Global Match came out today, and it's already at mixed reviews. 45% of 88 reviews are positive. That's a shame, because I really had hoped that this would have been a good version to to give you a reason to play King of Fighters with its online matchmaking. It has an all-time peak of 76 people online. It only has Japanese full audio, but it has Portuguese, Spanish, and English interface and subtitles. Rated teen. I kind of believe that this one may have actually been rated. It's $9.99, which is a little expensive for an old game just getting online things. Let's see. So, what are the complaints then on the negative reviews? First negative review, not recommended. It's literally the AES home version, LMAO. Get this if you want the OG 97 experience with no training mode and only 2 other modes for multi and single, and some online multiplayer with some extra gallery stuff. So all they really did is they gave a bad version and put online on it, according to this. Also, there's no arranged soundtrack or playable Arachi from what I could tell. Overall, meh out of 10. It's worth $10, but I'd honestly go for either the UMs that are also on Steam. And this is SNK Corporation. Yeah, so King of Fighters, like Ultimate Match or Unlimited Match. Yeah, so there's some other King of Fighters games. Let's see. Is there, however, any other King of Fighters 97 games? Or are they different versions at different years? Let's just keep playing. This will be our last game. Yeah, it seems like this is the only 97 version. So, but this is sort of typical, you know, of Japanese companies. They think they're doing something great by doing very little work, and the hardcore fans want something. They want something a lot more polished. Like, here's a recommended for $10. It's cool nostalgia if you're fine with just single player or local multiplayer. Don't buy this for online multiplayer. It's right now it's horrible. Let's see. There's no training mode. Netcode is garbage. Frame rate drops and full screen. No training mode. Negative. They really hate the no training mode. Let's see. Here's one. You're better off getting Fighting Cade and playing King of Fighters 97 through that. This has nothing that makes it worthwhile to get, like, training mode that the arcade version doesn't offer, as well as much better arcade mode. Fighting Cade, I imagine, is probably like a Raspberry Pi and a Retro Pi, which arguably, if you're going to play an old game, I think maybe playing it on a Retro Pi might be better than this. I don't know. I'll wishlist it just so maybe I own the ROM for King of Fighters on Steam. But it's certainly not going to be a high priority. And that's a shame. Real shame. I was hoping that would be an excuse to play the King of Fighters series in some future instance in which I try to play fighting games and see if I can actually play them. PC Gamer has an article, what's changing in Dark Souls Remastered. They stopped playing. The changes are small but welcome, they say. Let's see. Not a lot has changed. 4K resolution is supported in 60 frames per second, will be supported out of the box. Texture and lighting effects have been improved, though it's hard to verify this until we actually see the game on PC. As for functionality changes, the original Dark Souls was bullish in the insistence that you play online with strangers. organizing skirmishes or cooperative outings with friends was a mix of luck and laborious trial and efforts. But now, the password matching from both Dark Souls 2 and 3 will be available, with the summoned players for both characters and weapons syncing with the host. Maximum number of online players will increase from 4 to 6. And the dried finger item, which facilitates 6 player sessions, would now be available much earlier in the game from a vendor in the Undead Burg rather than in the secret painted world of Arameus. And healing items won't be available in PvP except for the Eustace flasks, and phantoms will have their Eustace flask count halved when host smites an invading phantom. Their flask count is restored. A few other changes. The arena will support 3 versus 3 player and 6 player deathmatch now, as well as password management and random respawning points. Online networking is now a dedicated server rather than P2P. That's interesting. Players can now turn on-off regional matchmaking. Players can now prevent matched red phantom players from seeing your white soapstone sign via the options. Players can no longer summon ally phantoms consecutively when in combat with enemy phantoms. In online players who are outside of the host's perimeter range will not be matched with each other. The players still can be matched via password matching. So it seems like a lot of online stuff. And Dark Souls Remastered is coming out May 25th. Now, there's a lot of weirdness there too, though, because Demon Souls was just kind of abandoned. And then I think Dark Souls 1 still kind of works on PC, or may have been recently shut down. I don't even remember. But it seems almost certain that Dark Souls, the original, is going to go away. Not to confuse things, but the original Darksiders 2 game on Steam, I cannot find it on Steam at all. So it's completely gone, which seems a little weird because there's some issues. There's some lighting issues with the definitive edition of Darksiders 2. And I kind of wish I could go back and play the original version, but they're not letting you. And they changed how the game played in small ways like this. So if people do want to play Dark Souls 1, you may at some point see it disappear. If you don't own it already, you may see it disappear even if you do own it. I don't think Steam lets people do that, but there is also a bigger issue where I think people need to start looking forward instead of back with the games like Dark Souls. They need to not replay such a relatively new game like Dark Souls. I know we're already up to Dark Souls 3, but if you're gonna do a retrospective and play an old game, you should play probably something a little bit older, maybe something around the Halo 1 era of games, or something really old like an old JRPG, because that's really what Dark Souls is just JRPGs with interesting mechanics of stances and attacks and weapons, which certainly you would lose a lot of that going into play a very, very old JRPG like Final Fantasy 3 or something. But right now, I would say Dark Souls 1 is in that mushy middle where it's not old enough to be really considered a classic and justify playing it yet again for the people who've probably played Dark Souls all the way through 3, 4, 5 times. And it's not new enough. It's not Dark Souls 4, so there's no real reason in my mind to do that. To play that one too. I'm not getting very far at all. Did I even get the Tavern Brawl done? No, I didn't. Wow. Well, I think we may have to bring back the post show today. I've still got a lot of news to do, and we've gone for 45 minutes. Maybe I shouldn't be so rigid on the time. We've gone for an hour, actually. That's going to be it for this recording, though. Stay tuned if you're watching live. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. If you want to support me even further, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.